This is 69 News Live at Sunrise. Your life, your world, your news. 69 News Live at Sunrise.
My guest this morning is on a national bus tour, spreading a message of hope and inspiration to children, especially girls. Entrepreneur Gina Otto's bus tour is in Philadelphia this week, and the tour coincides with the launch of her book, Cassandra's Angel. Good morning to you, Gina.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
And good news for you this morning. The book that you wrote here is #1 on Amazon.com's new releases for children's books on self-esteem. How exciting is that for you?
We're thrilled. I just woke up to that news, and I'm just so excited. The book just came out October 4th, so just about 15 days ago.
Congratulations. Yeah. You left a successful career in advertising to start a movement that inspires children and adults. How did you come to this decision?
I worked in Hollywood for 12 years, and I was working on a Diet Cola commercial one day, and I had this awareness come through me. This is an industry that uses anorexic models to sell Diet Cola to teenage girls. And I quit a 12-year career. I woke up the next morning a children's advocate. And for the last 15 years, I have been going around the country and around the world, talking to kids, hearing their stories, bringing the stories from children around the world back to the kids of the United States, building bridges, and creating, hopefully, an entire group of social advocates, social activists, social entrepreneurs, social artists, social journalists, truly changing the world.
And you've written your own story, Gina, called Cassandra's Angel. Tell me about it.
Cassandra's Angel is about the stories that we are given from the people in our lives about who they think we are, and then dropping all of those stories so that we can become who we came here to be. And it says in your life, everyone's going to have an opinion of you. That's just the way that it is. But no one's opinion is ever more true than that truth within your own heart. And when you find that truth and you find that light, you light up the whole world.
And how do kids go about finding that light, Gina?
So the story of Cassandra's Angel is that we have all of those stories. We have all of those stories that we're hearing from our parents and our friends and our teachers and the media. And the idea is you're either the story or you're that bright light. And when you find that bright light, you light up the world. And so what I know in all of my travels around the world, two things. Everybody wants to change the world. We don't know how, and we don't have time. So I created a website called ChangeMyWorldNow, and on it, it says these are the issues happening in the world. This is what's happening in the world, in the environment, human rights, animal rights, journalism, sports, medicine, finance, whatever it is that you are passionate about. Choose one issue, and then we will systematically take you through the steps of how you lend your voice, your love, your time, and your resources, changing the world one bright light at a time.
Now, right now, you're on a Change My World bus tour, and you're going around and reading your book, Cassandra's Angel, to kids in schools. How has the response been to that?
It's been overwhelming. We're starting on the East Coast. We're going all the way across the country to the West Coast. We are doing 20 cities in 20 weeks, and we're doing schools, community events, mall events, mother-daughter events. And what we did is we took the book and we turned it into a musical. So we have a full cast, and all of the characters are singing the songs, singing the music. And I can't even tell you, the response has been overwhelming. People are really embracing the story, and teachers come up in tears and like, thank you, our kids are not getting this anywhere, and we're so grateful.
Now, you'll be in Philadelphia today. Do you know exactly where?
Today is actually our last day in Philadelphia, and then we leave for Washington, D.C.
Okay, very good. Do you miss your advertising career, or do you think you found your true calling with this movement?
I don't miss it at all. I don't miss it at all. I wake up every single morning so grateful that I get to do this work. It has definitely taken over my life. It is not a job for me. It's not a career. This is what I will do with every breath in my body for the rest of my life.
How does it pay the bills, though?
It's been a very successful, we have a...
The book.
Yeah, we have a very, very successful company and brand, and moms buy this book for their kids, and then they come back and they buy it for all their girlfriends. So, we have this unbelievable support of mothers all over the country and all over the world. Last night I did a mommy blogger dinner, and it was just amazing that these moms were tweeting right during the dinner to all their girlfriends saying, you've got to go get this book.
That's great that you were able to make your passion profitable. Are there any more books in the works for you, Gina?
Absolutely, yes. I've been writing since I was 9 years old. I sent my first book to a publisher when I was 9, and I will continue continue writing forever.
Wow. Well, good for you. Well, good luck. Well, Gina's book is just one way that she inspires children. When we come back, a look at other ways she's reaching children around the world and tips on how to raise confident children. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks, Rick. Our guest this morning is an award-winning author and children's advocate who's pioneering a global movement called ChangeMyWorldNow. Her mission is to empower children with a focus on young girls to achieve their full potential. You have a Broadway musical out based on the book you've written, Cassandra's Angel. How did it come about, and how involved are you in the creation of it? I mean, wasn't it enough to just have this book, or did you need the musical to just bring it to life?
Well, one day I was thinking about the book, and I saw in my imagination my little character Cassandra go to this big rock and throw her arms back and sing I Am. And I thought, boy, there's more here. There's a musical. And I sat down with a childhood friend, my friend Tom, and we wrote 15 original songs. And we went ahead and did a workshop in Denver, and we filmed it. And that little tape of that workshop made its way to New York, and I got invited to New York to develop the show. There were some big producers, and they said, this is magical, come to New York. And while I was in New York developing the musical, all the rest of this happened with the Change My World Now website, the Change My World Now tour. So what we've done is we've taken a small mini musical with 7 cast members, and that is the bus tour. They're actually performing the book musically in all of these different cities that we're going to.
Oh, that's neat. So you've got like a troupe traveling with you on the bus.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, not only are you writing books, but you're writing songs. You just have a lot going on in your brain. That's really good. You've also traveled to Africa and Asia to speak to girls and teens. How do you make connections with the people in these areas? Or is there a common theme among children all over the world that allows you to connect?
I've been very fortunate. I've been invited to 7 different countries all over the world. And what I have learned is that we all have the story. And in the United States, we're dealing with bullying, cyberbullying, divorce, domestic abuse, poverty. And in the developing world, they're dealing with child marriage and trafficking and genocide and war. But we all get to make that decision. Are we the story, or are we that bright light? And that message is universal. And children in the developing world want to change the world just as much as our kids in the United States. So this program actually builds those bridges and allows them to come together. We have a generation of children who genuinely believe that they are friends with people that they have never met. And that is extraordinary, and that is new. And to watch these ideas develop has been very, very exciting.
With the issue of bullying and suicides, we've heard so much about boys doing this, not girls so much. Why your focus on girls as opposed to boys? Well,
it's very interesting. I'm going to make a bold statement that happens to be true. The future of the world lies in the hands of the 12-year-old girl. Because in societies where girls are being educated, those societies are thriving. And in societies where girls are not being educated, those societies are dying. And when you really think about that, an educated girl becomes an educated mother who educates her children. And so that's the demarcation point. That is where disease goes down, AIDS goes down, poverty goes down, child marriage goes down, trafficking goes down. And on the flip side, healthcare goes up, GDP goes up. It's an extremely important moment in time to focus on our girls, both in the West and in the rest of the world.
Okay. And was your childhood a model one, or did you struggle with self-esteem issues?
It's interesting because the characters in Cassandra's Angel are all archetypes. And so everyone says, are you Cassandra? And I say we're all Cassandra, because we're all the imaginative, brilliant, creative child. We're all the critical parent. We're all the mean kid. We're all the self-important teacher. We're all the mayor who has no time. And we're also all the wise and wonderful angel. And so for me, yes, of course, I grew up with all of the same issues that everyone else does. And then you look for those guides along the way. You look for those angels in your life, whoever they are. They might be a teacher, a parent, a neighbor. And I think that we're all those everyday angels helping each other along the way.
In addition to looking for those guides, what are some other tips that parents can do to raise confident children?
It's so important to have conversation. It all comes down to conversation, you know, to be able to talk about what it is that's going on, and to allow children to talk about their thoughts, their feelings, what's happening. It's not that we don't have issues. It's not that we don't have problems. It's not that we don't even have adversity. It's how we get through it. It's how we get through it. And that creates a successful child that knows that even if it's a difficult moment, they're going to get to the other side. And I think that has been the resonance of Cassandra's Angel, that you have this protagonist who has a very, very difficult time. Mm-hmm. And it's not the outward demons and dragons that she's fighting, it's the inward demons and dragons, which sometimes are the most scary and the most difficult, and that she overcomes that. And so that has been the connection.
Thank you, Gina, so much. Where can people get the book really quick?
Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, in all of the Barnes & Nobles, and in your local bookstore.
All right. The book is Cassandra's Angel, and Gina Otto is the author. Thank you so much for joining us. That's going to do it for us right now. We'll be back right after this.